everyone, it's Jade here. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I've decided to do another colour along in Johanna Basford's book, Rooms of Wonder. And the page that I've picked to do is this lost property page. I think that's what Johanna said in her flip through, that it was all different lost property items. I'm going to be using the Arteza pencils today, so the 120 set. And there's a few different items in here, so I think we're going to use quite a few different colours today. So I'll go ahead and zoom you in and we'll get started. Okay, so first taking lemon yellow, we're going to make a start on this sunflower here. So I'm just going to use light pressure and add a base coat down to each of these petals here so that we've got a little bit of colour to work with when we start to add in some darker shadows. So I've just posted my finished pages for November and December. So I sort of bulked them together and did one big video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. If you haven't watched it yet, you can check that out on my channel. Have you guys made any New Year's resolutions? What are you planning to do for this year? Mine is to try and get more colouring done, do a bit more so that I've got some more to share with you on finished pages. Okay, so next going in with pumpkin orange. This is going to be our darkest shade colour. I'm going to focus this right at the bottom of these little petals. So I'm just using light pressure here, just to give us a little bit of an orangey tone. And what I'll do is here where we've got little ones that are sort of underneath, I'll just add a little bit of this colour to them as well, just so they've got a little bit of a shadow on them. So yeah, I want to try and get some more pictures done and get some more colour alongs up for you guys to watch. So if you've got any suggestions on pages or books that you want to see, let me know. And I do reply to everybody's comments, so if you do drop me a comment, I will get back to you. This little one here I missed. And then I'm going to use this, and again still using light pressure, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the middle section of the flower. Next I'm going to go in with sunflower yellow, which is a bit more of a yellowy orange. And what I'm going to do is take that over the orange and then just bring that to about halfway up the petal. And I'm using a bit more pressure when I go over the orange and then lifting the pressure off as you come in towards the middle of each petal. So we should be left with a nice gradient effect of the petals getting lighter as they come towards the tips. Then going back in with lemon yellow, I'm going to go ahead and blend this all together. So just use normal pressure now and go ahead and fill this in. And what I'm going to do is for these back ones, I'm going to fill it in right up to the tip. And for the bigger ones at the front, I'm only going to take it right up and then leave the very lightest colour at the edge. So this back one can be filled in. And then this one here at the front, I'll go over and just leave a lighter colour right at the tip of the petal. Next, taking raw umber, we're going to add a bit more of a browny tint to the middle of this sunflower. So what I'm going to do is, for these tiny little middle pieces, I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness to the bottom of each little section, just to add a bit of a shadow from the center part. So you can just use normal pressure for this and then just lift off the pressure as you come towards the outer edges. And then I'm going to fill the very center in with that colour as well. Then going back in with pumpkin orange, I'm going to go ahead and darken this up completely. So just go over this with normal pressure now. Okay, and that's our little sunflower completed. So next, going in with camel brown, we're going to make a start on this little potion bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and use this with light pressure to fill in the cork. Then take in dark chocolate brown. I'm going to go ahead and add in some shade to our little cork. So I'm going to go over these little lines that Johanna's added in the little corner sections here and just darken them up. And I'm only using light pressure because this is quite a dark colour, and I'll just run this shadow all the way around the bottom and the right hand side, and then just lift the pressure off to blend that out. Then we'll go back in with camel brown and go ahead and use normal pressure now and fill this in properly, blend everything together. Then going in with jasmine yellow, I'm going to make a start on its little label. So again, just go ahead and fill this in with normal pressure, get some colour down. And then I'm going to go back in with camel brown and just go over the lines so it looks like the writing is a little bit darker. And then we'll just add a little bit of shadow to the bottom section just to darken that up a little bit. And then I'm going to use lemon yellow to fill in our little stars inside of here so that they are nice and bright. So just normal pressure and fill these in. And I think I'll fill in these two stars in the background as well in the same colour. Then taking watermelon pink, I'm going to make a start on filling inside of here. So I'm just going to use light pressure and add some of this pink just randomly into the bottle, so it looks like a little bit of a potion. And I think we'll add some to this bottom edge here. Then taking UBE purple, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the space using this colour. And again, I'm still using light pressure. I'm going to take it over some of the watermelon as well, so just like the very edges of the watermelon, just to start to blend these colours together. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with watermelon pink, and I'm going to use a bit more pressure and go ahead and darken up our pink sections and take it over the UBE purple so that it blends out nicely. Do the same over here. So you want to just use like normal pressure where it's just pink, fill that in, and then as you come over the UBE, just lift the pressure off so that the colours blend rather than just getting rid of the purple that we've put in. So then I'm going to go back in with UBE and go ahead and use a bit more pressure and darken up our purple sections. And again, when you go over the watermelon, just lift the pressure off. I'm going to use the UBE to fill in these little sections in between the rope on the bottle. Then take in Royal Purple, which is a darker purple. I'm going to go ahead and fill in this little string detail here. So I'll just use normal pressure for that and go ahead and fill it in so it attaches to the label. Then take in Sky Blue. I'm going to go ahead and add some colour, so just light pressure, but add a little bit of a glass tone. And then take in UBE Purple. I'm going to add a little bit of the shadow with that colour. So next I'm going to take my Uniball Signo gel pen in white, and I'm going to go ahead and go over these little sort of glares that she's added in so that it looks like there is a bit of a reflection on here. Do the same for this one here. And I'll just add a little highlight in to our glass at the top. Okay, next we're going to move on to this big teapot here. So I'm going to go in with lime green and I'm going to do a base coat on these leaves. So just light pressure and add some colour into each of these leaves. Then taking apple green, I'm going to add some shade into our leaves. So I think I'm going to go ahead and darken up this central line and add a little bit of shadow to the bottom. So this one I'll just do the central line because there isn't a bottom to the leaf. We'll add a bit of shadow to this end here. So I'm just using light pressure when I do the shadow at the bottom. And then more pressure when I darken up the line. Okay, and then going in with our white pencil, I'm going to use this to blend it together. So just normal pressure here. Just because I didn't want it any darker. So if I'd have gone back over with lime green, it would have darkened it all up. So if you use your white, it'll just blend everything together, but not add any more colour. Okay, next taking Argan Blue 506. I'm going to use this as our shade colour. So I'm going to go ahead and add this right down here at the bottom using normal pressure. We'll darken up all this section here too. And then lift the pressure off as you come out. So here we'll lift the pressure off. This little bit here in between the crown, I'm going to fill in completely using normal pressure. And then again here right up against the edge of the crown, we're going to darken this up. And then again lift the pressure as you come away. We'll add some shade here where the handle or the spout joins, and then again lift the pressure as you come away. Do the same here and lift the pressure. And I think we'll add a little bit of shade to the inside edge as well, and lift the pressure as you come away. Just so that this inside piece of the handle is a bit darker. Okay, and then I'm going to add a shadow along the top edge. So again, normal pressure right up against the top and lift the pressure as you come down. And I'm going to add some shade along here as well. And again, lift the pressure off, just to darken up this bit a little. And I think we'll fill in under here as well, because I feel like that would be a bit darker. And then over here for the handle, I'm going to darken up, not the handle, the spout. I'm going to darken up the edge, and again, lift the pressure as you come away. And then for this top piece, I think we'll darken up here where it joins to the lid. And lift the pressure off. And we'll do a little bit of darkness at the bottom of the top piece. Then going in with Ocean Blue, I'm going to test it on this little piece of the handle here and see how it looks. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and fill that in to see if this colour is going to be too dark. Quite like that, so I'm going to go ahead and use this to fill in the rest of the handle, and we'll take it on the top here, fill that in. So I'm just using normal pressure now and just filling in these pieces. So what I'm doing here is just going over where we left the lighter pressure of the last colour and starting to blend everything together. Do the same up here. Just bring the colour a little bit further out. And again, I'm still using normal pressure for this. And then I'm going to start to bring this colour a little bit further up. So I think actually all under this feather, I'm just going to use normal pressure to fill in. Okay, and then down here I'm going to use normal pressure right at the bottom. And then I'm going to use light pressure to go ahead and fill in the rest of this top section. Then I'm going to go back in with our white pencil. And what I'm going to do is go over where I left the lighter pressure and just use normal pressure and blend this all together so that we're left with a bit of a lighter patch at the top here. And then going back in with argan blue, I'm just going to darken up the edges of this top rim. So just normal pressure and then lift off as you come towards the center. Then we'll go back in with ocean blue, go over that with normal pressure and then just light pressure in the middle. Then going back over that with our white pencil just to make that stand out a little bit better. And then using lemon yellow, I'm going to fill in this little star here in the background. Okay guys, so that's how we're looking so far. So I'm going to move on to this big fish next, and I'm going to make him like a goldfish. So I'm going to add some red to him. So I'm going to go in with Rose Red 205. I'm going to use this at the tips of his little fins and just lift the pressure as you come further down the fin. So a bit more pressure right at the top and then lift the pressure off. Do the same for this one. So I'm going to go right up against the edge using normal pressure. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off to blend this out. And you want to try and take it to sort of different levels. So just use light pressure, but just sort of go up and down, just so that it's not a straight line. And we'll do the same over here. So normal pressure right up against his body. And then again, lift the pressure as you come away. Then I'm going to go in with blood orange, which is kind of like a reddy orange colour, and I'm going to go over where we left the light pressure, and then again use light pressure to bring this colour a little bit further down. Then going in with orange 113, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the wings, the rest of the fins, and just use normal pressure, take it over the blood orange as well. Then taking Tuscan Sun, which is a bit lighter, I'm going to go ahead and use this to do a base coat on his body. And then we'll go back in with the orange and add some more details. So I'm just going to use light pressure here and just fill in the main sections of his body. Then going back in with that orange pencil, I'm going to add some shade to him. So I'm going to use this and use normal pressure and run this along the bottom edge of his body so that it joins onto his fins. and just creates a bit of a shadow. We'll do the same here, so just normal pressure at the bottom there, and again around his little design. And now I'm just going to lift the pressure off to blend out that line. And we'll do the same for the top section. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and go right around the edges with all these little details. And then again, I'm just going to lift the pressure off to blend out this line so that we're not left with any harsh lines. And then going back in with Tuscan Sun, I'm going to use normal pressure now and go ahead and fill in and blend together his little body. Then going back in with Rose Red, I'm just going to add a little bit of this into these details here. So a little bit more pressure right up against that edge, and then lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. Do the same here, lift the pressure off, and then I think we'll just add a little bit of this to the bottom of each of these little pieces, and then again lift the pressure off to blend it out. And we'll do the same in here, so just darken up either side. Then going back in with Blood Orange, I'm going to fill these in. And then taking Argan Blue, I'm going to go ahead and fill in around his eye. So he's got a nice blue eye. And then taking my gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and add a little reflection in his eye. Okay, so that's how we're looking so far, guys. So I'm going to move on to this little bottle next. Taking Jasmine Yellow, I'm going to make a start on the label. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the label. And then I'm going to use Camel Brown to add some shade to our writing and just darken up the bottom corners of our little label. And I'm just going to go over that with Jasmine Yellow just to make sure that it's blended out nicely. Then taking Shamrock Green, I'm going to add some colour in. So I'm just using light pressure here and adding in some colour into this free space where there isn't a pattern. And down here as well, go ahead and add some colour into here. And I think we'll do up here in between these little decorative pieces. And we'll go ahead and add this all the way to the top. Still just using light pressure. Next, going in with Deep Teal, I'm going to start to add some shade to this. So I'm going to add some shade here from this bottle above. So just use normal pressure and then lift off the pressure as you come away. We'll add some underneath this pattern here. So it looks like this is casting a bit of a shadow down. And around the fish. And then again, lift the pressure off to blend that out. And then up here, this little piece here would be darker. And we'll go ahead and add some shadow to this side. And I'm gonna add some to either side up the top here. And then I'm gonna fill in this second piece here and down here. And then for the top, I'm gonna darken up the bottom line and around the left-hand side. And then I'm gonna lift the pressure off to bring this colour up and out. And I think I'll just run a little bit of this colour underneath here as well, just to add a little bit of a shadow there, and then lift the pressure. So going back in with our white pencil, I'm going to use this to blend this out so that it stays quite nice and light. Take it over the darker colour and into the lighter colour. Then taking plum purple, I'm going to go ahead and use this to add some colour to the little decorative details on here. So I'm going to fill in these top pieces, just using normal pressure. And this bottom piece here. And I'll fill in these top triangles and the bottom halves of these circles. Then I'm going to use watermelon pink and fill in these next little semicircles. Then I'm going to go in with lavender and go ahead and fill in these little dot details and the dots in the middle of these circles. Then taking burgundy, I'm going to fill in the outside edge of these circles. And then with lemon yellow, I'm going to fill in our little stars surrounding it. And we'll do this one as well. Then going back in with our gel pen, I'm going to add a couple of little dots up here. And go ahead and add a little bit of a shine to the top of the bottle. We'll add one in here where we left the lighter colours. And run one down this edge as well. I'll do a little one in there. So next, going in with forest green, we're going to make a start on our little bonsai tree. So I'm going to go ahead and use light pressure here and fill in the tops of the trees. So next, going in with jungle green, which is quite a darker colour, I'm going to add some shading. So I'm going to use normal pressure right up against this other branch so that this looks like it's pushed back a little bit further. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off as we come over. So this one would have a bit of shade over here where the one in front is blocking it. This one will darken up this little bit at the back at the top, and we'll add some where it joins onto the branches. And again, just lift the pressure off to blend that out. I think we'll add a little bit over here, and again lift the pressure off. And then we'll do some down here for this one. So going back in with forest green, I'm going to go over where we left our lighter pressure. Then going in with moss green, which is a little bit lighter, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the tops of these bonsai trees. So I'll just use normal pressure now. And then I'm going to use this colour to add a bit of moss to the bottom here. So I'm just going to randomly place some of that colour in. And then we'll go back in with forest green and add some green into here. So I'm just using light pressure at the minute. Take it over the moss green as well. Okay, and then going back in with moss green, I'm going to use normal pressure this time and go ahead and blend everything together. So I'm going to go over the green so that it gives it a bit more of a brown tone. And I've completely missed the top here, so I'm going to go in with forest green again and do a light base coat on here. I don't know how I missed that one. And then jungle green, we'll add some shadow here from the one above and over here from the branch. And then moss green will fill in the middle. Then going in with cocoa brown, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little branch details. So I'll just use normal pressure for this. And then here where you join to the moss green, just lift the pressure off a little bit. Do the same over here. Then taking our black pencil, I'm just going to fill in the little knot on the tree. And then using apple green, I'm going to add in our little grass and just fill that in with normal pressure again. So that's a bit lighter. Then taking rose red, I'm going to use this to fill in the top section of the plant pot so that it's nice and bright. So just normal pressure there, fill that in. And I'm going to use this to fill in these bottom sections too. So again, just normal pressure, fill this in. And then taking lemon yellow, I'm going to fill in the top triangles. And we'll do the feet. Then taking blood orange, I'm going to fill in these little pieces here in the middle. Okay, next we're going to move on to this world, and I'm going to go in with sapphire blue. And I'm going to start off by adding a light base coat into the water sections here. So anywhere that's water, I'm just going to do a light base coat and add this colour in. Then taking Absinthe Green 602, I'm going to do the same for the land sections. So I'm going to do a light base coat on the land sections. Look at this little one shaped like a little love heart. That's cute. So now going in with Sea Blue, I'm going to start to add some shadow into our water. So first of all, I'm going to darken up around this little tree here because that would cast a shadow onto our little globe. So I'm just using normal pressure and then lifting the pressure off as you come away. And what I want to do is sort of take this around these little islands. So just use normal pressure right up against them and then lift the pressure off as you come away. I'm going to do this all the way round. And then I'm just going to go back over and lift the pressure off to blend this out. Then going back in with Sapphire Blue, I'm going to go ahead and go over where we left our lighter pressure and darken that up. I'm just going to fill in there completely, and here, and up here, and then we'll add just where we left the lighter pressure so that we can leave a lighter colour in the middle. Then going in with our white pencil, I'm going to go ahead and blend that into the middle, so just sort of drag the colour backwards and forwards. Next I'm going to use Matcha Green to add some shade to our little islands. So I'm going to use normal pressure around the edge and darken that up. And then again I'm just going to lift the pressure as you come towards the middle, and I'll do the same for all of these around the edge. And then going back in with Absinthe Green, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the land. Then taking Moss Green, I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of this colour right up against the edges, just to darken them up a little bit more. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with my gold sparkly gel pen, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little details here. And this really thin line around the edge to add a little bit of sparkle to our picture. Then taking sapphire yellow, I'm gonna do a light base coat on the bottom because I'm gonna make this gold, but we're gonna add some shadows to it. Then taking camel brown, I'm gonna add some shade, so a bit underneath the globe and under here where it joins. And again here on this line we'll add some shadow. So I'm just using normal pressure right up against the line and then lifting the pressure off as you come away. I'm going to fill in that corner there because that would be in shadow. Then I'm going to go in with lemon yellow and I'm going to take this over the brown. And then jasmine yellow to fill in the bottom sections. And just go over everything so it's all blended nicely. Okay, next going in with flamingo pink, we're going to make a start on this little boat here. So I want this part of the boat to be pink, so I'm going to go ahead and do a light base coat on the sections that I want to be pink. And then I'm going to use watermelon pink to add in some shade. So I'm going to darken up here where it joins to the boat. And along the bottom of this top section. And along the bottom here. And then I'm going to add a bit of shadow in from the roof. Then going back in with flamingo pink, I'm going to go ahead and fill this in, blend everything together, so a bit more pressure this time. And our shadow's not standing out very well, so I'm going to go back in with plum purple and just darken up our shadows. So I'll just use normal pressure and add a bit more of a shadow in. Then taking periwinkle blue, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little windows. And then using sea blue, I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow just to the right hand side of each window. Then going in with sky blue, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the roof and the chimney. So just use normal pressure for that. And I'll do the same for this little railing detail that we've got here. And then I'm going to use light pressure to fill in the bottom section of the boat. And then back in with sea blue to add some shade. So I'm going to add a bit of a darker patch here from where the little house is sat on top of the boat. And we'll add some shadow in here from the pineapple. And a little bit here. And then lift the pressure off to blend that out. Do the same here. And then I'm going to go over these lines and just darken these up with the blue. And then I'm going to go back in with sky blue and use normal pressure now and fill this in properly, blend everything together nicely. Then taking lemon yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in our little star here. And back in with a white gel pen. Where we left the lighter colour on the windows, I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of white just to give it a little bit of a reflection. Okay, and using lemon yellow again, I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat on these coins. So I'm going to make these look like gold coins. So just light pressure here, go ahead and fill in the coins. Then taking camel brown, I'm going to add some shade to these. So I'm going to darken up these bottom edges here, either side, and lift the pressure as you come in towards the middle. We'll add a little bit of a shadow just to the very top edge. And then this one would have some shadow here and here. And we'll do the same for all of these little bottom pieces, I think. That one I'm going to darken up completely because it's right at the back. And then this one will add a little bit of this browny gold colour here to that edge. Do some on the back section of this one and a little bit up here. Then going in with sapphire yellow, I'm going to go ahead and blend this all together. And I'm just going to go back in with camel brown because I didn't do any on the top of here, so I'll just add a little bit to the top of this one. And then I'm going to use my gold gel pen and fill in these little details that are on top of the coins, just to give this a little bit of sparkle. Next, taking UBE purple, I'm going to make a start on this little purse here. So what I want to do is fill in this section, and I'm just going to use normal pressure so it's quite dark. Then taking royal purple, which is a little bit darker, I'm going to go ahead and go over the line details. So just use normal pressure and make these lines a dark purple. And then I'm just going to lift the pressure and just bring the colour into the square a little bit more, so that we're just left with the UBE right in the centre of these squares. Then I'm going to go back in with my white pencil and I'm just going to go over the centerpiece just to bring that together and make it look a lot more blended. So again, I'll just use normal pressure and I'm just focusing this on the middle part where we left the UBE purple for each of these little sections. And I'm going to use my gold gel pen again to go ahead and fill in the little clasp on here. And back in with lemon yellow to fill in our little star. We'll do this one as well. And this one by the B. Next, going in with crimson red, we're going to make a star on the crown. So I want all the jewels on the crown to be red, so I'm going to go ahead and add this colour in. So I'm just going to use normal pressure for this side one here, and for this one I'll just use a little bit lighter pressure. No, actually I'm just going to fill these in, so I'll fill them in with normal pressure. These little gems down here can all be red as well. Okay, next going in with Dolphin Grey 003. I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat onto the crown because I thought we'd do the crown silver instead of gold. So we've got a few gold pieces on here already, so just to mix it up a little bit. So I'm just using light pressure here and I'm just going around and adding this colour in. Then taking concrete grey, we're going to add some shadow to our silver parts. So I'm going to start off by adding some shadow down here, all the way along this edge. And then lifting the pressure to blend that up. We'll do the same in here, so we'll add a shadow underneath this section and in here. Then to separate these parts, we'll add some shadow along the edges. And a little bit to the top here, and then lift the pressure off. A little bit to this side and lift the pressure off. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off here and blend that out a little bit better. Do the same here. And we'll just add a little bit of shadow up here. And then again, just lift the pressure off to blend it out. So going back in with Dolphin Grey, I'm going to go ahead and start darkening up this colour as well. So taking it over the shadow and bringing it towards the tips of these little crown peaks. And then I'm just going to leave the lightest pressure right at the top so that that's the very lightest part. Go ahead and use normal pressure to fill in this bit here that's kind of dipped in. And then going back in with Concrete Grey, I'm just going to fill in the edges with normal pressure and then lift the pressure off so that we get lighter as we come towards the middle. Do the same over here. And then back in with Dolphin Grey, just going to go over these little edge pieces and leave the lightest patch in the middle. So now going in with a silver gel pen, I'm going to go around this little detail here, like the clasp that holds the jewel on, so that that's nice and shiny. And the same for this one over here, and this one over here. Then taking a white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and add in some little shines onto all of our little gems. Okay guys, and as we've got stars in the background, I'm guessing that this is kind of like a lost property in space picture. So I'm going to do the background as like a spacey effect. So I'm going to go in with Blueberry Blue, which is quite a dark blue colour, and I'm going to start to add some blue into some of these background areas. So I'm not going to take it all the way around up here. I'm just going to work on what we've got within this circle. So anywhere that I want to add some blue in, I'm going to use this colour. So I think we'll go ahead and fill in between these little tiny pieces of flower. And up here, we can fill this little section in. take this all the way around this jar and this little star here, and then I'm going to start to lift the pressure off now so that we can start to work in a different colour. So I'm going to go in with royal purple, which is quite a dark purpley colour, and I'm going to take this up and over where we left the light pressure of the blueberry blue, and then I'm going to start to bring this colour a little bit lower down. So I'm just using normal pressure when I go over the light pressure of the blueberry blue. And then we can go ahead and use normal pressure here, add some of this colour in. And then again here, I'm just going to lift the pressure off. And then I'm going to use fuchsia, which is quite a purpley pinky colour, and I'm going to take that up and over the royal purple where we left the light pressure. Mix this together and fill in this bottom piece here. And then I'll just go back in with royal purple and just use light pressure. Work on your blend line if it looks a little bit harsh, just add a bit more purple. Okay, so I'm going to use royal purple to fill in these little sections here and here. And we'll do some here. And then lift the pressure off there. And then we'll use fuchsia into that there. And just use normal pressure, take it over the purple, blend it together, and I'll use fuchsia to fill in up here, and we'll do some fuchsia over here. So I'm just going to use normal pressure right up against this edge and then start to lift the pressure off. I'll go back in with royal purple, and I'm just going to use light pressure, take it over the fuchsia and bring it down to about here. Take it over to about there. Okay, so I'm just going to work on this blend line here, so just add a bit more purple colour in. And then go over it with the fuchsia. Go ahead and darken up this purple section in the middle, along here. And then I'm just going to lift the pressure off there and here to help the blend. Then going back in with blueberry blue, I'm going to go over this purple, just using light pressure so we get a nice blend. And then you can use a bit more pressure and start to fill in some blue. I'm going to lift the pressure off there because I don't want the blue too close to the blue in the world or the globe. Fill in this little piece here and lift the pressure off here. We'll take it light pressure down to there, so we'll fill that in with light pressure. And then I'm going to go back in with royal purple and go ahead and go over the blue here, blend that together and fill in this little section up here so that bit's blue, purple, sorry. And the same in here, we'll do that bit purple. So I'll just go over some of the lighter pressure of the blue. And we'll fill in this piece here in purple. over here with a bit of purple. Okay, then I'm going to go back in with blueberry blue, go over and darken up any blend lines that need darkening up. And then using fuchsia, I'm going to go ahead and fill in around here and by this purse. And we'll add some over here as well. Okay, and then I'm going to use royal purple here just to work on this line so it's not quite as harsh. And over here as well. I'm going to use blueberry blue to fill in this little section up here. And then I'm going to take the blueberry right up against the tops of the trees and fill this in. And then I'm going to start to lift the pressure as you come down. And then I'll go in with royal purple and go ahead and blend that together. So anywhere we left the lighter pressure, go over it with the purple. Then going back in with fuchsia, go over that. Just going to use light pressure this time when I'm going over the purple. Help work it together. And then go ahead and fill in the bottom section here. Okay, so going back in with blueberry blue, I'm going to do blue around in this section. So I'm going to go ahead and use normal pressure here and fill this in. And then we'll lift the pressure in here to blend it out. Do this little piece in here blue as well. And then going in with royal purple, I'm going to go over where we left the lighter pressure, blend that together. And then add this colour around here. And then I'm going to start to lift the pressure off about halfway up this roof here. And then going back in with blueberry blue, just going to sort of round this off here. You can always go back over afterwards and work on the shape. But for now, I'll stop it there. Blend that into the purple. And then I'm going to use this to go right up against the edge of our gold piece here, so that that's nice and dark blue. And then I'm going to lift the pressure as you come towards the middle. Then going back in with royal purple, fill in the rest of this section. Okay, and to help the pink blend out down here, I'm going to use royal purple. I'm going to take it over the pink slightly, just using light pressure. Do the same here. And then going in with blueberry blue, I'm going to take that into the purple, but not all the way up into the pink. And I'm just using light pressure there. And now I can use a bit more pressure down here and go around the bottom of this bag. And then again, I'm just going to lift the pressure off, bring this colour down a little bit further and blend it out. Then I'm going to use royal purple and fill in here, normal pressure, and start to go over our blend line. And then I'm going to bring this colour right down up into the B. And then here I'm going to start to lift the pressure off again, so that we can add a little bit of fuchsia right in at the bottom here. And then I'm going to go over that with royal purple, take it over the pink as well, just so it's not as bright. So going back in with lemon yellow, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this big star here. Make that nice and bright. And then I'm going to go in with blueberry blue. And for this section, I'm going to go all the way around the edges with the blue so that the edges are darker. So just use normal pressure right around the edges. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off all the way around. Then going back in with royal purple, go ahead and fill in the middle part of this section, just using normal pressure. And then going back in with blueberry blue, I'm going to add this right up underneath our little fish. And then I'm going to lift the pressure off as you come away from his little fins. And we'll go in with royal purple. Go ahead and go over our lighter pressure. Start to bring this colour further down. And then I'm going to lift off the pressure there at the bottom, and we'll lift off the pressure over here. And then going back in with fuchsia, I'm going to work on this blend and take this colour a little bit further down. And then again, just lift the pressure off down there. And then going in with lemon yellow, I'm going to fill in our little stars. Okay guys, and then to make it look a bit more like a sky, I'm going to go in with a white gel pen and add in some little stars into the background. So I'll just use little circles to add some extra stars in, and you can place these wherever you want. So I'm just doing some bigger ones at the minute, and then I'll do some smaller ones after. Do a little shooting star in here, so just a little circle and then pull that away. Make the circle a little bit bigger so you can tell it's a shooting star. There we go. Add some tiny little stars in randomly. So next, going in with pear green, we're going to make a start on this pineapple here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this colour down into the leaves of the pineapple. And I'm just using light pressure here and just adding the colour into the leaves. Then taking matcha green, we're going to add some shadow into this. So I'm going to focus this on the bottom of each of these little leaves, just to darken up the bottom sections where there would be a bit of a shadow. And then I'm going to go back in with pear green and use a bit more pressure this time and just go ahead and blend everything together nicely. Next, taking raw umber 302, I'm going to use this as our base on the pineapple. So I'm just going to use really light pressure and add a coat of this to the actual pineapple itself. And then going back in with pear green, I'm going to use this to add some more green tones to our pineapple. So I'm going to focus this on these little sort of triangle areas and go ahead and add some of this colour into here. So I'm just using normal pressure for this so that the colour shows up quite nicely. Then taking honey 105, I'm going to use this to add a bit of a yellow tint just right up against where we added the green. So just in these little line detail areas here at the top of each section. And I'm just using normal pressure for this as well, just adding a little bit of colour to the top. And then going back in with raw umber, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the bottom sections and take it into the honey. So I'm just using a bit more pressure this time, just to get a darker colour. And then going back in with honey, I'm just going to go ahead and go over all of it to make sure that it is all blended nicely together. And I'll take it over the green as well, because it'll just add a little bit of this tone into the green. Then taking sapphire yellow, I'm going to make a start on these little flowers here. So I'm going to do yellow flowers. So I'm going to use this and just use normal pressure to fill in each of these little petals. And then we'll use honey again to fill in the middle section, so it's a nice light orange colour. Then taking Coral 203, I'm going to use this to add a little bit of a lighter tone into, a little bit of a darker tone, just into the very start pieces of the petals, so the bottom piece of each petal. Just going to add this colour into. Then taking Spearmint Green, I'm going to go ahead and just fill in these little leaf details, just using normal pressure. Then going back in with fuchsia, I'm going to add some fuchsia into our background here. So I'm just going to use normal pressure and go ahead and fill in a bit of this section with fuchsia. And then here I'm going to start to lift the pressure off. Then going back in with Royal Purple, I'm going to go over the fuchsia using light pressure, and then use this to fill in this section here. So I'm going to use normal pressure down here. Then going back in with Blueberry Blue, I'm going to use this to go around this edge here. So I'm going to just use light pressure and mark out where we want this colour to go to. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in all of this section with the blue. So I'm just going to use normal pressure. Go ahead and fill this in. And then I'm going to use this to connect this side as well. So I want it to come right around the edge of the picture. So again, just light pressure. And then we can start to bring this out here so that it matches and it is a nice circle shape. And go ahead and fill this bit in here. And then taking Royal Purple, I'm going to use this to fill in this inside section here. And And then I've just lifted the pressure off there. And then I'm going to join the blue to the purple. Then going back in with our white gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and add our star details into here. So I'm just going to add some random bigger stars. And then go ahead and add in some smaller ones. Okay guys, so that's how we're looking so far. So what I want to do is start to join up this edge like we've done over here. So I'm going to use the blueberry blue to do that because I want the outside edge to be blue. So again, I'm just going to kind of add a faint line in just to sort of mark out where we want the circle to be. And I'll just take it all the way down to there. And if some of the pieces are sticking out a little bit, I'm just going to leave them sticking out. And as we can see now, I've drawn that to there, so I need to connect this to here. So just add a little bit more blue here. So I'll go ahead and fill this in. Okay, so now I've got that all marked out, I'm going to go ahead and use normal pressure now and fill in this outer edge. And then I'm going to swap to royal purple and use that to fill in this inside piece here. And again, I'll just use normal pressure, fill this in. Then go back in with sapphire yellow. I'm going to go ahead and fill in these petals on here. So again, I'll just use normal pressure to fill these in. And then using coral, we'll add in some darkness to the bottom sections of each of these petals. So I'm just taking it to where she's added these little dot details. We'll fill in the middle as well. And then I'm going to use raw umber just to darken up the centre of the flower a little bit more. Then going back in with spearmint green, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the leaves. Okay, and then going back in with that gel pen, I'm going to go ahead and add in some star details where we've just added the darker blue. So I'll do some bigger ones and some tinier little dots to add in our little star effect. Okay guys, and that's how this picture is looking so far. So I'm going to leave this video here and we will continue this in part 2. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next video.